everyone, this is Charu, legal intern at Lexis and Company. This video is about the Right to Education Act 2009. The Right to Education Act, also referred to as RTE Act, was enacted by the Parliament of India on 4th of August in the year of 2009. It describes modalities of the importance of free and compulsory education for children aged between 6 to 14 years in India under Article 21, Clause A of the Constitution of India. This act came into effect on 1st April in the year of 2010 and made India one of the 135 countries to have made education a fundamental right for every child. It prescribes minimum norms for elementary schools, prohibits unrecognized schools from practice, and advocates against donation fees and interviews of children at the time of admission. The Right to Education Act keeps a check on all neighborhoods through regular surveys and identifies children who are eligible for receiving an education but do not have the means to. Educational challenges have been prevalent at both the center and states for many years in India. The Right to Education Act in India maps out roles and responsibilities for the center, state, and all local bodies to rectify gaps in their education system in order to enhance the quality of education in the country. There are certain norms that were prescribed in the Act. The first is compulsory and free education for all. It is obligatory for the government to provide free and compulsory elementary education to each and every child in a neighborhood school within 1 kilometer up to class 8 in India. No child is liable to pay fees or any other charges that may prevent him or her from pursuing and completing elementary education. Free education also includes the provisions of textbooks, uniforms, stationery items, and special educational material for children with disabilities in order to reduce the burden of school expenses. The second norm is the benchmark mandate. The Right to Education Act lays down norms and standards relating to pupil-teacher ratios, that is the number of children per teacher, classrooms, separate toilets for boys and girls, drinking water facilities, number of school working days, working hours of teachers, etc. Each and every elementary school, that is primary school plus middle school in India, has to comply with this set of norms to maintain a minimum standard set by the Right to Education Act. The third norm is special provisions for special cases. The Right to Education Act mandates that an out-of-school child should be admitted to an age-appropriate class and provided with special training to enable the child to come up to age-appropriate learning level. The fourth norm is quantity and quality of teachers. The Right to Education Act provides for rational deployment of teachers by ensuring that the specified pupil-teacher ratio is maintained in every school with no rural-urban imbalance whatsoever. It also mandates appointing appropriately trained teachers, that is, teachers with requisite entry and academic qualifications. The fifth norm is tolerance against discrimination and harassment. The Right to Education Act 2009 prohibits all kinds of physical punishment and mental harassment, discrimination based on age, caste, class, and religion, screening procedures for admission of children, capitation, fee, private tuition centers, and functioning of unrecognized schools. The Right to Education Forum's stock-taking report in the year of 2014 suggested that across the country, less than 10% of the schools comply with all the Right to Education Act norms and standards, while the enactment of the Right to Education Act 2009 triggered significant improvements. Concerns regarding the privatization of education remain. Educational inequalities have held a strong ground in India for many years. While the Right to Education Act offers the first step towards an inclusive education system in India, effective implementation of the same still remains to be a challenge. The sixth norm is that ensuring all-round development of children. The Right to Education Act 2009 provides for the development of a curriculum which would ensure the all-round development of every child, build a child's knowledge, human potential, and also their talent. The seventh norm is that improving learning outcomes to minimize detention. The Right to Education Act mandates that no child can be held back or expelled from school till class 8. To improve the performance of children in the school, the Right to Education Act introduced the Continuous Comprehensive Evaluation CCE system in the year of 2009 to ensure grade appropriation learning outcomes in schools. Another reason why this system was initiated was to evaluate every aspect of the child during their time in school so that gaps could be identified and worked on well in time. The eighth norm is monitoring compliance of RTE norms. The school management committees, that is SMCs, play a crucial role in strengthening participatory democracy and governance in elementary education. All schools covered under the Right to Education Act 2009 are obligated to constitute a school management committee comprising of a head teacher, locally elected representative, parents, community members, etc. The committee have been empowered to monitor the functioning of schools and to prepare a school development plan. The ninth norm regarding this act is Right to Education Act is justifiable. The Right to Education Act is justifiable and is backed up a grievance redressal committee GR mechanism that allows people to take action against non-compliance of provisions of the Right to Education Act 2009. To ensure that all schools follow this mandate, Oxfam India, in collaboration with George, filed a complaint at the Central Information Commission (CIC) in the year of 2011, evoking Section 4 of the Right to Information Act in the year of 2005. Section 4 of the RTI Act is a proactive disclosure section mandating all public authorities to share information with citizens about their functioning. Since schools are public authorities, compliance to Section 4 was demanded. The 10th norm is creating inclusive spaces for all. The Right to Education Act 2009 mandates for all private schools to reserve 25% of their seats for children belonging to socially disadvantaged and economically weaker sections. This provision of the Act is aimed at boosting social inclusion to provide for a more just and equal notion. So that's it for today's video, guys. Don't forget to like this video, comment your feedbacks and subscribe to LexClick for more legal stuff.